boxing ring. And through this point in round number 2 is the depth of talent.
Plantic did seem to nail him with a left as he came in behind it. Plantic lets his hands go there. Good bit of evasive work from the man in red. Just slipped under the left hand and moved away to his right hand side, but he just didn't do enough in that first round, really. He was never in trouble, but Mina threw some punches at least before those final exchanges. Just waiting for the bell.
Round 2, roll the top.
Mina with the high guard. Plantic holds that lead hand low, just kind of moves it forward, pushes it out, constantly just looking to try and measure what the gap is between himself and his opponent. He's got quite a kind of mechanical boxing style, really. Left to the body there from Plantic. Mina getting in slightly too close there, was trying to see if he could sneak that right hand round the inside, and Mina was right back on Plantic there when the instruction to box came, and he's trapped him on the ropes here and he's doing a little bit of damage. It looked like he was. Right hand from Mina got through. Plantic slips away to his right and then just cuffs the Ecuadorian, the man in blue, as he tries to get after Plantic again. Jab there again from Mina. He's got some good evasive skills, Plantic. He got himself out of trouble well there. He looks kind of unruffled, he looks nice and composed, but he just isn't doing enough.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner by unanimous decision in the red corner, representing...
I think that's good from Plantic. He's made his man miss there, but again he's just circling back towards that neutral corner. Hands are down, gets the gloves up now. You can win a fight off the back foot, of course you can. You can be aggressive off the back foot, it's not necessarily a defensive ploy, but you can't win a fight off the back foot if you don't throw any punches. So 2 rounds down, a little bit of a fist pump there from Mina as he went back to the corner. This has not been a dazzling performance by him, but I've got him 2 rounds up by virtue of the fact that his opponent has done very little.
Representing men's light heavyweight, bout number 131. The judges are from Poland, Kazakhstan, Latvia, Russia, and from Canada. Referee of this bout is Kamachi from India.
Zaro Alvarez of Cuba. Just having a quick look at our replay screens on my left shoulder. He won his fight earlier on, 3-time world champion, looking to make it 4 here, as is Julio La Cruz. And the Sargalagos, Andy Cruz as well, out in force to support their teammate, Cuban team. They have captured more gold medals than anybody else in the history of the Aiba World Championships. The first edition was in 1974 in Havana. There was some top fighters who competed in that competition. Not just Teofilo Stevenson, but Wilfredo Gomez, another one, Puerto Rican, legendary Puerto Rican, won gold there. Mina just looking for that left hand and right hand and just firing away in the corner, and Plantic again manages to get himself out of trouble, and it looks clumsy from Mina. He's swung off balance and Plantic has made him do that, but it's Mina who's initiated that exchange in the corner. It's Mina who had the better of it in the corner. I just feel that there's more to come from Plantic. He's frustrating because he does have these good defensive skills. He's a really composed fighter. He's very difficult to ruffle or to panic because Mina's a big, strong, physically imposing light heavyweight, by far the bigger man of the two when you look at them physically. If he could just add a bit more offense, Plantic, then he could really be in business. Big overhand right there, Mina. Referee saying that that's delivered with the inside of the glove, with the palm, inside of the forearm even. The way through it, it was impossible really for it to be anything else. It was like he was bowling a cricket ball. Reaching for the left hand there, Plantic. Did make contact with it. Mina still on the front foot, where he's been all fight. Hasn't been all that effective, to be honest. If there were punch stats for this, then he would have connected with a pretty low percentage of the ones he's thrown. With a right hand there. Bell goes. Plantic raises his glove, but I just don't see any possible way that he can be given the win there, because he just didn't do anything offensively. He's got some good skills, more refined boxing skills, I would say, than Carlos Mina has got, possibly. And as I've been saying, you can win a fight off the back foot. Boxing off the back foot is not a negative ploy necessarily. But he threw very little there, Plantic.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner by split decision. In the blue corner, representing Ecuador,
Carlos Mina gets it in the blue corner. Split decision. 30 points to 27, that was how I had it. Two scores of 29 to 28, and Morocco going 29 to 28 in favour of Plantic. I've no idea how you end up with that score, I really haven't. But it's Mina who goes through. And he will face Nigmatulloev, who we saw beat De Souza in the quarter-finals. Sounds like I'm being very, very critical of Plantic. I understand that. But I've given him his credit, I've given him his due. If he just threw more, he could really be a good fighter. But he just didn't do enough. So into the super heavyweights. Fokou Arsène of Cameroon up against Alexei Zavatin.
men's super heavyweights. The 5 judges representing the countries of Wales, Uzbekistan, Australia, Lithuania, and Belarus. The referee in charge of the action is Mr.
Now this is Arsène, soldier by trade, gold medalist at the African Championships.
And now, making his
Quarter-finalist of the 2010 Commonwealth Games. Not too much international experience other than that. And here from Moldova is Alexei Zavatin. We saw him in the first preliminary round where he beat Luis Calderon 5-0. Unanimous decision. Quarter-finalist of the European Championships, lost to Maxim Babinin of Russia. He'd beaten Babinin actually in the Baku Olympic qualifier. Didn't get to the Rio Olympic Games. Boxed at the 2013 World Championships, has boxed at other European Championships, European Games also. So in the red there, showing us that huge broad back, is the Cameroonian Fokou Arsène, and the man in blue from Moldova, Alexei Zavatin. Southpaw Zavatin, orthodox fighter Arsène. Both of them just pushing out those lead hands at the minute. And then Arsène muscling Zavatin down to the canvas. Bit of a weight difference between these two, I would say. I don't know what weights they weighed in at. There is no weight limit, of course. This is 91 plus. Zavatin looks lean. Arsène looks in very good shape as well, but There's more muscle on him, he's a bigger man. Right hand puts Zavatin down. The referee says no knockdown, but that's a legitimate knockdown, surely, because a punch started it. It put him off balance maybe, and down he went, but that should be a knockdown. Left to the body, right hand again there from Arsene. A little bit off balance. The front feet could have tangled because it is orthodox against southpaw, but it just looked to me like the right hand just knocked him onto his heels. His weight was going back and down. He went, not a heavy knockdown, a flash knockdown, but a knockdown nonetheless. Trying to tee up that left hand, that backhand, Zavatin. That's what he wants to do. Arsene just comes in, throwing punches from everywhere, really. From orthodox angles, throwing on the move. He's quite an unpredictable sort of fighter. Well, goes to the end of the first round. It was Arsene, I think, who landed the meteor blows there. Not a great deal of it was all that clean. Well, I think he'll have been pretty happy with what he saw in that first round. Didn't see a replay of the knockdown, but as I've said on previous days, the knockdown is not as crucial in Aiba boxing as it is elsewhere. And judges at ringside will interpret dominance, and it's entirely up to them how they go about interpreting that. This effective aggression is what they're looking for, but what I'm saying is that a knockdown does not in itself constitute points being lost by the fighter who's knocked down. In isolation, it doesn't necessarily count for anything. It's part of the kind of greater narrative, it well might. Well, a point being taken here for Arsene, coming in low with the head. Right hand there from the Cameroonian.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner by split decision. In the blue corner, representing Germany,
Zavatin really hasn't done a lot so far. He's holding out that jab hand. He took it to try and set up the left hand, but Arsene is all over him. He's a high-energy kind of fighter. If you just pause and are ponderous and want too long to do something, then he won't let you have that time. He'll get on you and try and make something happen. Not always with maximum effectiveness, but he's certainly proactive. Right hand, and that is without doubt a legitimate knockdown. He came straight onto that Zabatin. He was trying to throw that left hand, walked onto the right, and down he went. Well, that was a serious blow from Arsene, who's going to go and look for him now. He's not steady on his feet here, Zabatin, at all. He hasn't got his legs back underneath him. Arsene, if he lands one more big one here, then he's gone. He doesn't need to be too impatient. He's got 30 seconds, just reining in with that big right, but he doesn't manage to land it clean, and Zabatin is not in good shape in there. Moving in, trying to close the gap between the two. That was a significant punch there from the Cameroonian, who drops down to a knee. Zabatin was leaning on him, that was the reason. Referee telling him to keep his head up again.